YouTube. I am Lucky Sixes. This is Hyper G.
Yeah, it is. I'm still not going to leave you hanging.
Oh no, that's good.
Hello.
That's good.
Hello.
2 out of 2 so far.
2 out of 2, yeah.
Yeah, we are
Few
here for our special army book review, noob version.
Yeah, I don't know if we're getting away with that after 8 years of playing Ninth Age, but
No, well, that's the kind of level you should expect if you're
yeah,
watching this.
yeah. If you
We're
haven't
gonna go
played a
through.
battle in 2 days, that makes you a noob.
Yeah. We are going to go through the Demon book today, and we're going to look at where it is at currently,
Yeah,
with the current rules additions. Something we've been talking about for a while. We're going to go through all the books today. Is the Demons?
yeah. I don't remember demons ever being weak. I'm going to put it out there right now. Like, I don't think they've ever been in a bad place
Yeah.
or unpopular, for that matter.
I think arguably this is probably one of their weakest times,
Okay. Oh,
but we will
interesting.
see.
Okay. We will.
We will see.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So first off, we have, as always, all the fluff. Go and check
Yep.
it out. Have a read. Something that's really good.
They're
Army special
everywhere.
rules. They are everywhere. Army
Yeah.
special rules. They have an Aegis save as standard.
Yeah. And it was always when you least want them to pass it,
Yeah,
which
usually a
is always,
5
to be
up
fair.
as well.
Yeah, usually.
And you've never seen more 50% 5 ups
No,
until you play a Demons player.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. It's always like you wound 4 times, you're like, excellent. They're going to say 1, maybe 2 if I'm. What, all of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can really crush hopes.
Yeah, a great and really basic rule. Immortal Denizens is the show of magic that they have, the essence of magic that they have. If you use 2 or 3 magic dice, they get a +1 modifier. So that's where they're at with that now.
It's really powerful. I mean, I think it makes demons probably one of the most magical armies in the game, in my opinion. You like, I think
Yeah,
it's probably dice economy that makes that a factor. Like you can really just. I mean, I know it's only a +1 modifier, but in the days where there aren't modifiers anymore, it's massive.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
They always had an affiliation with magic coming through the veil and all that kind of stuff. So this is
Oh, of
sort of
course.
there to do that.
Yeah.
Army model rules. Smother is +1 to hit, +1 to wound. That'll be on certain units, so look out for that because that's a
Yeah.
very
It's usually
nice.
it's a matchup thing, isn't it? Like if you can get
Yeah,
opposite the type of model that you've got this bonus against, then you're laughing, and as an opponent, you're doing your best to avoid it. So, yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And the dark fire shots. This is like their shooting, I guess, from uh, maybe some other things, but 2 shots, strength 4, AP naught. But is it AP naught when armor saves rolls of 1, 2, 3, 4 always failed?
I know. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is the way of like saying I've got a 5 up Aegis and you can only have a 5 up armor. So
Yeah, it is.
there.
So
But yeah, I mean,
absolutely,
I'm sure that this way is probably worded better. But I
yeah.
like my version too.
Yeah, but there is a way of getting like some shooting demons lists, but
Oh
predominantly
yeah.
they're not that shooted.
No, they're surprising. They're deceptively shooty
They
sometimes.
are,
These,
they
these
are. This
demons.
this certainly helps for that when you say AP naught and then and then your Gav dies.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, because you can't roll those 5 ups. I mean, the units that are targeted that have a 5 up armor save, they're the ones that are just like, "Heh, we don't
Yeah,
care about your
right.
special armor rule." But
Skeleton suddenly strong.
yeah, they love it being shot by
So
demons.
yeah, moving on to demonic manifestations, and this is the replacement for demons for magic items, isn't it?
It is, and to be honest, it seems like it's quite a dated thing, like going back to days of like I don't know version 1.1 and 1.3 of Ninth Age, where every army had like so many magic items. Still, it was a carryover from a game that it may have taken the place of, and demons just kind of kept it. Like they have the most. I mean, I know they're not magic items; they're manifestations. Obviously, let's get that out of the way. But it does seem like they've managed to keep a lot of manifestations
Yeah,
compared to like a one page of all the other armies. But I guess it's kind of cool because they get variety. Um,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. And starting with manifestations of Father Chaos, so they're all kind of uh, uh, lumped in theme wise with a deadly sin, aren't they?
yeah, they are. Yeah, the seven deadly sins, which is really cool. I mean, I've always been a fan of that. I think it was really clever that they did that. To move away from the previous demon system. And the dominant thing is an opportunity to not only give it to the model that's taking it, but you also give it to the unit that you're with, basically.
Yeah,
So when you see dominant, and it usually costs more, I think almost always, you're giving it to the unit that your model is placed in, and that's really cool as well.
yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to go through these fairly quickly because there are loads,
Yeah.
as you mentioned, of them. But we'll just sort of we'll go through them, and then any that sort of pique our eye or we want to talk
Mm.
about, we will. So kaleidoscopic flesh, hard target one, standard.
I've never
Uh,
seen it used.
hellish larynx, breath attack, strength 3 AB2. Breath attack's not so good anymore. But
No.
stand and shoot. Does that mean that you can stand and shoot with that breath attack?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think so.
Because the model then gains it. So I think perhaps you do. But
Yeah.
yeah, Mark of the Eternal Champion. The Spear of Affinity heredity spell, which is great. We'll get onto in a sec. And
Mm.
your model becomes a Conclave 1, which
Mm.
doesn't give you channel quite.
No, it doesn't give you channel because you need Conclave 2 for that. But I think this is probably one of the most popular ones, especially in
Yeah,
core. We'll get to that. But Spear of Infinity is a very good hereditary spell.
it is.
So this is very good. I mean, the fact that it's 40 points, you could say it's undercosted, but at the same time, the minute you make it more than 45 and it becomes overcosted. So
Yeah, yeah,
I think this is about right.
absolutely. Mirrored Scales, any ones that you roll against demons actually hit yourself, which
Yep.
is cool.
Yeah.
Horrifying Visage, activate at the start of a friendly phase, gains horror, so that's
Mm.
something to do with fleeing from combat, isn't it?
Minimize fleeing. Yeah, pretty much.
Its
Yeah.
charge range rolls gain maximized. Now
Yeah, that
that's an
sneaks in on
interesting
the end,
one.
doesn't it?
Yeah, that's an interesting one because I think most of them do anyway. But yeah, we'll see.
It is one use only though, so it's not always. So not
Sure.
quite as powerful as it could be, but still good.
Trampling hooves for
Mm.
some grind attacks, which is always nice.
Yeah, it's a bonus. I mean, it's quite similarly priced to other things that give that. So yeah, Shrink 5 AP2 is always nice as a bonus. The only thing with the D3 hits, of course, is you can always roll ones or
Yeah,
twos.
that's
But
it.
it's expensive if you're not good at rolling D3s. Put it that way. So
Yep.
yeah.
Centipede legs. I see this a lot. +2 mobility.
Hmm.
Hammerhand +1 attack. Unnatural
Always.
roots. It gains resolute +1. Now what's that?
It's you get an extra rank bonus basically
Oh
for the
yes, of course.
first turn of combat, I think, or maybe all. But yeah, big Griblies can take this and get more of a rank bonus basically. It's very cool, really cool.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going for those flank charges or whatnot, because that's when it not only gives you a bonus, but it's also deducting it from your opponent.
Yeah. Sure.
Um, you do need to have at least one proper rank to begin with Resolute. So you can't have it on light troops to get yourself a rank or something like that.
Sure.
But yeah, it's solid.
Yeah. I like brimstone secretions that getting immune divine attacks.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially I think you mentioned it in the Beast Herds book. Divine attacks is better now. So yeah, just become immune to it. And I mean, if you go for the dominant type, I mean, that's one of the ones that already picking out is the dominant is just the same price as the non-dominant. Put it on your unit, and yeah, if you are the master at those 5-up Aegis saves, then yeah, even the opponent can't do anything about it. They've just got to
Yeah.
watch.
We probably should say something about the guiding, the guiding price, guiding manifestations. So
Yeah.
if on this thing it's got a red dominant thing, then dominant just means you can't do two together. Um,
Oh, sure.
then yeah, you could do it on rank and file models.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I thought that was called dominant. I said that up earlier for dominant, but yeah, you're right. It's called guiding manifestations when it's in red. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, fair point.
So that's what that is. If you see that and go, well, what's that extra cost and things like that, it just means it can be
Yeah,
put on units as well
of
as the
course.
model itself.
Yeah,
So going
sorry.
back to it, chitinous scales, +2 armor, which you don't see a lot in the Demon book.
No, no, but yeah, it's nice against small arms fire. You know,
Yeah.
just one or two of those arrows that you're digging out of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
pretty good.
yeah, I mean, a lot of the time, if you see anything with armor 6 up, you go, oh, what's that for? That's because it probably goes up with chitinous scales, to be honest.
Hmm.
Darkhide can. This is. Who's it? Ed uses Darkhide quite a lot, or has done in the past.
Has done. He became master with it.
He did.
Yeah,
And so basically can redeploy uh, units.
yeah, yeah. I mean, still within the usual restrictions for deployment, but now you see me, now you don't. Really.
Yeah, very much so. And then Hell Can Wait. I've not actually seen this before.
No, I don't know how long it's been
Uh,
called that, but
yeah.
yeah.
Just before unit rolling a break test, you can fail it and
And halve your supernal
halve your
losses.
supernal loss. So presumably that'll be a crucial one that you have to stick on.
Yeah. Yeah, if you work out, I mean, we should mention supernal is a demon thing generally. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, basically, if you fail a break test, then you and you will lose models equal to the amount that you've lost your test by, isn't it? Pretty
yeah,
much supernal. So by using this, you don't have to roll, and you only lose half the models you would have done. So yeah,
absolutely.
nice.
So moving over to the sins, and we've got envy first. Charge tendrils giving lightning attacks, piercing spike +1 AP, and venom sacs poison attacks. All of which can be put on units, which is great.
Yeah,
Love me some poison attacks as well, especially for shooting, which is
yeah,
interesting.
it's really good. I mean, these are quite expensive ones, but you'd expect them to be because they're quite useful.
Yeah,
Um, so. Yeah, I mean, lightning attacks is an interesting one because I mean,
it's
if you're
very
going
niche, isn't
into
it?
metal armor, then
Yeah.
go for it. I mean, yeah, maybe you're
Uh,
targeting particular opponents in a team tournament or something like that. But
Yeah, it's a fair amount has metal armor, even some beast head stuff. So
true.
yeah, it's around. In terms of lust, we've got hidden knives, giving +1 strength and AP if you're in the flank or rear.
Yeah, cool.
Afflict, -1 defense and -1 offense, with mesmerizing plumage, and then hot blood giving devastating charge +2 agility.
Really
And
good.
that's a really good one in a already decent agility army.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially with an army that generally has swift stride across the board to make those charges, I think this is so cheap. This is
Yeah,
so cheap.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know why I don't see the dominant version as much. Maybe because of the characters being so juicy. You just don't tend to see characters joining units in as much. But
yeah,
I think this is sort of brilliant. Agility is
yeah,
king in
absolutely.
my opinion. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it is a good. Yeah. Onto gluttony, we've got digesting vomit, giving +1 strength and AP if they're on the winning side of combat.
yeah. I mean, they're always the ones where if you put chaff in front of them to think I'm going to hold them up, they're like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, thanks for that. No, I'm really powerful. Yeah, really cool. We've all done it.
And absolutely unhinging jaw, giving zeal towards 3/5, and that is re-rolls to wound,
It
I
is.
believe.
Yeah, really good.
Zeal
Yeah.
thing. And unholy appetite, which is very similar to the vampire ghouls. Might even be the
Mm,
same thing. If they do at least 1 HP loss or 1 wound, then they gain hatred of the next
yeah.
combat phase, which is great.
Mm, yeah.
Manifestation of pride. We've got a discipline test with minimized with golden helm, bronze backbone offering first strike hatred, which is oh so good, and Vanguard 3 with horns of hubris. Probably the backbone, as you can see, 70 points on a unit, pretty good.
Yeah, really good. I mean, re-rolling anything is nice.
Yeah,
And if you can make your whole unit do it, yeah, love it. Love it.
no, absolutely.
That's popular.
God, yeah, it is. Yeah,
Very popular
uh,
one. Yeah.
manifestation agreed. We've got zeal towards scoring with smothering coils. So that's an interesting
Mm,
one.
yeah.
Clinging Ica giving or taking away devastating charge, I should say, from
Mm,
enemy models in base contact, and segmented shells giving multiple wounds against the models, stopping. So greed is very like a potentially a debuff one.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, multiple wounds can always shock you at the worst of times. But if you've got this, if you're running around with a segmented shell, then you're not worried about it at all.
Yeah,
Well,
I
I mean,
think I
likely.
don't
So
I don't think there's too much in the way of multiple wounds that is more than D3
sure, yeah,
nowadays. So I'm not sure. So that, I guess this is why it's fairly cheap because a lot of the time it's either going to be multiple wounds two. It's tended to go towards uh, lately or
yeah,
D3. So you're not.
yeah.
I mean, every on your big gribblies that we'll get into, this would be great. But
Mm.
yeah,
Yeah, I suppose I mean, it should be mentioned. I don't think it would ever, if your opponent rolled a D3 and rolled a 1, it doesn't reduce the wounds to 0.
no,
It
to
it,
a
re- it
minimum of one.
changes
Yeah.
it to D2 instead of D3, basically, doesn't it? So yeah.
Yeah, well,
Oh, and it
D3
does set a
minus
minimum of
one.
1 as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
But yeah, manifestation of sloth. We've got afflict minus 2 agility with
So good.
torporous tendrils. That could be. I don't know whether that could be mixed in together. That'd be cool. Um, sorceress antennae giving you an extra magic dice for each unit containing this, which is great. So it's like
Yeah,
basically your channel thing, but can be done multiple times, which is great. And then accurate on all-seeing eye. Interested it's in sloth as a thing, but yeah, I guess you're slow and you're accurate again on
yeah,
anything shooting. Moving on to wrath, and we've got curved tusks giving +1 strength at AP, and if you roll a 1, the model with
yeah.
curved tusks suffers a wound itself with AP10. So interesting
Mm.
the AP10s in there because not a lot has armor. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's interesting. I mean,
Uh,
with these manifestations, we should say that a lot of the units have like 4 or 5 options to choose from, as we'll see
yeah,
as we get in. So it's not like you can choose any of these with any unit. So there's
yeah,
going to
yeah,
be some units that are specifically designed to be affected by curved tusks and whatnot.
absolutely.
So
I that's one to look out for if you're an opponent, I guess, because obviously
easily forgotten.
easily forgotten. So it's one to remember if you're going
Yeah,
up against something with curved tusks. Whipcrack Tail
yeah,
giving +1 to hit. The nice standard, but a very very good spell. Effect. And Incendiary Ica giving flaming attacks and a bonus against flaming attacks, but you do fail regen.
yeah, yeah. And I think you hinted on something when you mentioned the sorceress antenna earlier. The demons won't get access to the normal magic items that other armies get.
Yes.
So what I was saying about how they've maintained a list of huge numbers of manifestations. I guess if you think about it, they've lost their own army-specific magic items, and they've lost the reference manual army items.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll take that back a bit actually, because you are
Yeah.
restricted to only manifestations.
It's always been a thing I think for non-demon players is that you assume they have so much because there's so many things to look up when you look up someone
Yeah.
else's list,
Well,
especially
yeah.
if you're not familiar with demons. But that's
Mm,
because of that reason is that all their stuff is in this book rather
yeah.
than elsewhere.
Exactly.
So the
Exactly. Right.
hereditary spell we've touched on it briefly, but it is a missile damage spell, range 24, and replicable, which I think I don't. Yeah, I think this is the first time we come across that. But it's basically it can be repeated with no cost to the casting value.
Yeah, because normally if a different wizard casts the same spell a second time, you'd have a +2. So the casting value, or is it +3? I
I
think it's
thought
plus
it was
two.
3, but yeah, it's something like that.
I'll have a quick check. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
this way they don't basically. So
yeah.
brilliant.
But yeah, it is a missile with an area attack 1 times 5, so that means it's like a piercing bolt thrower type thing, or a spear, I guess. Strength 2, AP 2, with the direct hit, so the first one being Strength 4, AP 3, multiple wounds 2. Now, it also gains +1 strength every time you successfully cast a spell. Not this spell
Yeah.
necessarily, but any spell. So
Mm.
if they've got maybe 2 dice left at the end, this is probably one they're going to be hunted towards because of that.
Definitely. Yeah, it's horrible seeing the Spear of Infinity get more powerful the longer they leave it to cast.
Yeah,
And you've really got to judge whether or not you're trying to dispel the spells before it to stop this becoming powerful, or letting them go so that you've got enough dice to stop this one from
yeah,
being
yeah,
super powerful and hitting you. And yeah, I've just
absolutely.
checked it. It is a -3 to your casting roll, actually, if you're
Okay, not the
repeating
value.
spells. But of course, this one
Yeah, sure.
doesn't matter. So
Yeah, not if you've got replicable ball, which it does.
indeed, yeah.
So on to the characters, and the characters bit is quite an interesting one because there is lots of big gribblies. But to start off with is the
Mm.
Harbinger of Father Chaos, who is the little gribbly, I guess.
Yeah.
So it
And
has a
probably
lot of
the most likely
options.
candidate for getting your guiding manifestations into your unit, really.
Yes, yeah, for
Um,
sure.
I mean, not always, but generally. Yeah, and he does a bit of everything, really. I mean, he's a decent fighter. He's got magic, and yeah,
Can be a BSB, has a whole load of mount options. But yeah, I think generally speaking, these are to buff up your units, as you said. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, sneaky little Aegis 4 up on this guy as well.
yeah,
So
yeah,
not easy to take out by any
yeah. And I
means.
mean, yeah, he is your typical jack of all trades. I think so. Like
Yeah,
he is your base little model thing. 120 points quite cheap on the thing, but all the upgrades it could easily be 400, 500.
yeah. I mean, and also we didn't really touch on it with the beast herds, but a decent amount of magic lore that you can choose from
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, whether we'll follow up with an arcane compendium
Yeah,
review after this, I don't know, but because the
yeah, we'll
spells do
see.
change as well. But
But yeah,
it's a good
here's
spread.
your base demon that doesn't really follow anyone, but it can be molded into any sort of
Mm.
type. On to Kalima's Deceiver. Now this will be good because we often see a lot of these and they get intertwined with each other, but we'll hopefully have a bit of a better look at what each of them does. Kalima's Deceiver is a channel 1. It's protean magic, so it gets 2 spells from the number 1 spells that it has available. You can up that to protean magic 4 to get all of them. So it's kind of like your way of getting all the spells.
Mm.
Know
Yeah,
thyself. At the beginning of the agility step, when the model's standard melee attacks are allocated, select one model part from each enemy model in contact with this model, add their attack value characteristic, excluding modifiers, to the attack of Calypso. So he steals attacks. So as you can
yeah,
see on his attack stat, he is just 1. But don't be
yeah.
fooled.
No, I mean, don't charge him into a unit that's only got 1 attack. Basically, I mean,
Yeah,
you would still have 2 attacks, which is double, but really you're going for the models that have more than 1 attack, or you're going for 2 units and getting yourself spread across them both, and then steal both their attacks, which is
yeah.
cool.
So anyone, yeah, basically all the ones in base contact. So I guess the best ones are going to be the 20 mil or the 25 mil, where it's got 3 models potentially. You know,
Mm,
at best they're going to have 3 attacks each. It
yeah.
is their attack value characteristic. So it's not, if they've got paired weapons, it's not 3.
No,
If they've got 2
or a
on their
raging
profile,
giant.
so
A
yes,
raging giant
exactly.
won't get you anymore, but tempting,
Oh, that would be good, wouldn't it? Yeah, but yeah,
wouldn't it?
so yeah, arguably decent against monsters as well for that point of
Yeah, and
view.
this is also
Um,
another one who's 25 mil, so it can go in your units. So
yeah,
another candidate for the guiding manifestations.
for sure.
Uh,
And yeah, and can fly if you want it to have wings as well.
mm. Yeah, I mean,
And can
we're
shoot.
probably not going to mention too much about the manifestations that each of these models can take on the units that they can take.
No, no,
There's a
no.
lot of synergies in demons that would take us hours and hours to go possibilities. But this guy's the NV one, so track back and see the NV
Yeah, and
option.
the fact they can shoot probably accurate is a decent one. Shoot and can go in a unit, can fire off spells. Accurate's probably a nice one for him. But yeah, let us know as we're going along what some standard builds are for each of these. That'd be good to put in the
Yeah, I,
comments for people to read.
I don't think accurate's in NV for the record, but still.
Oh, is it not? Okay, fair enough.
No, it's in sloth, but still,
Well, for that reason,
it's exactly the point we're making. Is it's
for
sometimes
that
hard
reason.
to work out the synergies.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Moving on to the Maw, and this is a very cool model. I quite
yeah, it's
like
really
the
awesome.
rules for part of this as well. The big standout thing from the off is the 10
Yeah.
HP at Res 6,
Mm.
and it also has Devour. So it gains HP above its starting HP. So for every thing it kills, you roll a 4 up. Every model it kills, you roll a 4 up, and if you get 4 up, you get an extra HP. Now, if you do carry on that, so it could go to like
Yeah.
12, 14, 15. If you get to 20, though, it blows up.
Yeah, and spews out toxic attacks on everyone. It's
Yeah.
brilliant. I mean, it's so topical. I mean, Tony is the master of the Maw, isn't he? In
Yes.
in the Ninth Age world, and yeah, you really have to just weigh up whether you are actually trying to kill this thing, or are you feeding it stuff so it kills itself at the start of the battle. Really, um, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
really
It
nice.
can stomp lots of things as well. So it's a big gribbly. And otherwise has a few magic options as well for some versatility. But yeah, that's its main thing. If you see this, it's going to be on its own. And it's going to be munching away. It's going to be pretty tough to kill
Yeah,
as standard. So you're going to have a real think about how you're going to take on them more. Yeah.
mm, definitely. Yeah, it's
Uh,
it's really good.
the Miser of Sugalug. Bribed enchantments being its main rule. So you select an enemy model it is you base contact with for each magic item it has. The bearer side add +1 to its combat score.
Yeah, interesting.
It
That's
has
cool.
resistance as well, so it's very tough to kill because it's going to be Res 6, 7 HP. You're having to re-roll your wounds against it. You've got +1 combat res. This guy is going to be pretty useful in terms of holding stuff up.
Mm. Yeah, and can deal a bit of damage. Probably not the most damage dealer in the demon's army, but he's just not going to shift easily.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, obviously with manifestations, any demon character can become more killy. Stick a hammer hand on, and 5 attacks goes to 6, and then he's,
yeah, yeah,
it looks more killy than I'm saying, but still, there's other models that are more built for kill, and this one's just built to stick around and cause problems. So yeah,
yes. It is solitary, so it's going to be on its own as well.
mm, yeah,
And yeah, I think that's about it. So yeah, if you have
yeah,
magic items, stay away.
too right. Yeah,
The courtesan, so a very fast model. This one and this one is wants to get into your flanks because if it does,
yeah,
or flanks or rear, it gets an extra 5 attacks. Strength
lovely.
5, AP 4, a bit of extra AP on his blades that comes
Yeah.
in with. Distracted and a hard target helps its survivability as well as 7 HP at Res 6.
Mm. Yeah, this guy's definitely aiming for the armpits, isn't he, with his
Yeah,
armor
yeah,
AP?
absolutely.
Yeah, and he's quick, really quick. I mean, I've already said that Swift Stride is a thing for demons, but so when you're charge mobility 9, there's not a lot that you can't get into the flank of, and then really be a problem if you've managed it.
Yeah,
The whole army of the enemy has got to really, deal with you and stop you getting to the flank or
yeah,
rear.
absolutely.
Um, yeah, and distracting and a hard target just make it even more of a nightmare to bring down. So
Yeah. So yeah, as we've been doing for everything, put all your builds in the thing for each of the Gribblies. But
mm,
otherwise, yeah, this is the flanker. Uh,
yes, a
Omen of
lusty flanker.
Savar. Yeah. Omen of Savar, and this is the guy that likes to go against characters.
Yeah,
I think before he was quite a pretty good jeweler, I want to say, but obviously that the whole dueling concept is kind of gone. So he's
yeah,
been yeah, he's got D3+3 attacks at D6+4 offensive, and if an enemy character is in contact with it, the model gains distracted 1.
yeah. And he's
Aegis
doing
4 up.
multiple wounds too against those characters, so
Yes,
that's and
with
lethal
lethal
strike too.
strike. Yeah, yeah. So it's
Mm.
all he is the character killer of the guys. At 50 by 50 as well, and not solitary. He can go in units, so that is helpful there as well.
Mm. Yeah, interesting. I've not noticed that actually. So yeah, really cool.
Yeah. So your character killer is the Omen of Savar.
Yeah, I suppose the
Uh,
only thing with him is he's only got 4 HP. So
yes.
just be careful with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sentinel of Nakuja. So this guy, yeah, has less HP as well with 35. Has 0 attacks.
What?
What? He does have grind attacks, so that helps him out. But this guy does not want to be anywhere near combat. He is omniscience.
Yeah, well done.
So he he gets excess magic is increased by 2. So the amount of magic dice you can have is double +2, I guess,
Mm.
of whatever your card you reveal is. He can have a Dark Pulpit and Strixien Spirit mount option. The Strixien Spirit being he's bigger basically,
Yeah,
with
and gets more HP.
more HP and more mobility and some other things as well. But yeah, so if he doesn't march or charge, he gets some extra magic. He's obviously the one of the big magic casters of these lot, and yeah, you see a
The thing is, of
sentinel
course,
of
though, you say you can't march or charge. I mean, he does have to be on a mount because he's got 0 charge mobility.
yes,
So he
yeah,
has
yeah.
to choose either the dark pulpit or the Strixien spirit. So one gives him fly and one gives him some movement, but chances are you're just going to sit still anyway. So
Well, yeah,
yeah,
with the omniscience rule.
indeed, yeah,
Uh, and the last one, but by no means least,
no,
of the big gribblies in the demons, we have Vanadra's Scourge.
I mean everyone just calls it the scourge, don't they?
The
Or
Scourge,
scourge,
yeah.
depending on where you come
Scourge.
from.
Oh, yeah, that is a.
Stormstone,
It's a
you know, Bath.
bath thing, isn't it? So, yeah, he has fly, which is very important, as well as all the other usual suspects, Swiss Ride, Terror, etc. Aegis 4 up against melee. That's exactly where he wants to be, with Strength
Oh yeah,
5, Strength 7, AP 4, 5 attacks with Fury and
yeah.
Rage, as well as Stomp attacks as well. This guy is an absolute beast in combat. Uh,
Yeah. Killing machine.
yeah,
Killing machine.
and there are I do believe this guy has like distracting options and things like that as well. So
Well, yeah, with those manifestations, yeah,
yeah,
really cool.
he's just gonna try and get in. Fly really helps him as well in terms of getting in and not being chaffed. So you have to
Yeah,
deal with him early.
I suppose it does mean that he's light troops, right? For being fly, is that a thing? Is there a thing?
He
Isn't there?
hasn't got light troops on his profile, which
Okay.
normally a lot of stuff does. But yeah, I don't. I think he will have one rank.
Okay. Fair
I
enough.
think he will. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, a little bit of magic as well if you would like it as well. Can't be a master, but can be an adept for an excess amount of points.
For the turn when you're not in combat.
Yeah. Uh, we mentioned it briefly, but here are the character mounts. The Dark Pulpit doesn't give you much in the way of charge,
No.
but does give you a little bit of mobility. This is for the can only go to core unit as well as a war platform if you've got
Yeah,
this.
it's for
But
the
that's
sentinel, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. Hellsteed, charge mobility 10, so another quick one.
Nice.
But that's pretty much all it gives you, as well as
Yeah.
Vanguard.
Probably one of
Uh,
the worst mounts that you're going to get in terms of buffing you.
yeah,
But it's a little bit, and a bit of Vanguard never hurts. So yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Burning Wheels, the chariot of sorts. Giving you a charge of 10 as well, which is a nice thing with some decent attacks, supported attacks as well as hard target.
Yeah, and
The
an extra
Great Beast.
HP.
Yes, yeah, well, 4 HP, yeah, yeah. So Great Beast of Prophecy. This is your. I think this is like the. Oh, what are they called?
Harbingers, take this.
Yeah. No, what the units? Well, we'll get into the unit. There might be this, but yeah, the Great Beast. So it's going to charge and stuff.
Oh,
It's
okay.
got impact hits and devastating charge plus two. So what are they called? I can't remember what the monstrous infantry are called.
Oh, flicking. Got
Yeah,
flicked a long way. You mean the Brazen Beasts?
Brazen Beast is what I mean. So if you want to
Yeah.
put one of your guys in with the unit Brazen Beast, I think this is what it's going to be. Throne of Overwhelming Splendor. Easy for me to
Superb
say.
name. Superb name.
6 HP with the Aegis 4 up is nice, as well as being a chariot with some impact hits. And AP3 impact hits
Yeah.
at that as well.
It always catches you out. Yeah, I mean, you think Swing 4 and you're like, okay, well, I can just take. Oh, I don't get armor anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, finally, onto the core units. Blimey. We have the imps first up, and these are the shooters. If you see them in an army list, they're going to be trying to shoot at you with their energy bolts. Obviously, some options there in terms of the manifestations. Let us know your favourites for each of these units as well, if you have any. But yeah, they can have a fire starter with a different spell as an option from their standard bearer as well.
Yeah, it's the mark of internal champion is one of the manifestations with this. And looking at it, I mean, you can make it so that the standard bearer has one spell, and then the mark of eternal champion gives you Spear of Infinity anyway. So you can end up with two spells, I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
On your unit of imps, which is really cool. But it doesn't mean that you become Conclave 2, I don't think. So it doesn't give you channel as well. But I really like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're not fighters anyway. We should say probably one of the worst stat lines in the game.
Yes.
Why they've ended up with Res 3, I just think that's funny. But and energy bolts are not the same as the dark shots or whatever they're
No,
called.
they are Strength 5, AP
Dark fire.
0. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not hiding any armor piercing shenanigans.
No, they're not.
But strength 5, you don't get a lot of strength 5 shooting, so
Yeah.
that'll hurt. Yeah, Dread Elves beware.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Succubi. And these are your, I guess, infantry killers as well.
First example of smother as well.
Yes.
We're looking out for that always, and these guys are your infantry killers.
Yeah, so with it being Smother 1, anything with height 1, which is infantry, they get +1 to hit, +1 to wound. A sneaky little AP 1 on their strength 3 as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, really cool. And they're so quick. Like agility 5 as a base.
Yeah.
And with charge 5 as well, and swift stride, which I keep mentioning, they're going to be charging in. They're going to be really, really quick. The 3 attacks each on an infantry model is insane.
Yeah.
So slice and dice these gals. I mean, I say gals, but
Yeah.
they feel like they should be crazy gals.
Absolutely. Lemurs are our next option, and these are the very, very tough Res 5 chaps.
Yeah, are you lemurs or lemurs? Or lemurs?
I literally didn't notice the difference in those two words you just said.
No, I didn't either. The first two were exactly the same, I think. But you said lemurs. I don't know. Lemurs, lemurs.
How do you how do you say lemurs?
Yeah, and translate that in the comments.
Yeah. But yeah, these are tough to kill. Defensive
Really
5,
tough.
Res 5. Not much in the way of attack, only strength 3 AP 0, but they will hold up stuff. And they will hold it. They have obviously a few options as well, manifestation wise. Myrmidons are your complete opposite to lemurs. They are strength 5 as opposed to Res 5. So they're Res 3. They have AP1 um, and Fighting Extra Rank and Fury. So
Yeah,
all the offensive stuff, as well as obviously options through the manifestations. So yeah, they're your killers. So I quite like the core in that they've all got very defined roles.
definitely. And I think that, the manifestation options, which, like we say, we're not really talking synergy too much. But I think all of the options tend to be good options for each of these units, depending on what you want them to do in your army. So I think that really provides a lot of variety just within core itself. Like, I
Yeah,
don't think there's many armies that have got as little as 4 core choices, but it never feels like that with demons because you've got to check out the
yeah.
manifestations
There's
to
so
figure out
many
what they're
different
actually doing. So.
yeah, so many different types of Myrmidons you could take, and etc. So yeah, they're really good.
Yeah.
On to the special and Eidolon. So we talked a little bit about imps being the shooting, and also earlier than that, a bit about Darkfire. And this is where, in the unit point of view, where Darkfire comes from. So they have a Darkfire 3 plus. They're skirmishers, so you're not going to see too many of them in one unit, but they are quite a lot here. I think All Seeing Eye is the accurate as well. So I think
All
this is where you
seen.
can get accurate in the
It
fields.
is. You are correct. Yes.
So yeah, I mean stat line, nothing really to write home about. They're not getting to combat with anyone at strength 2 AP naught, but they are very devastating shooting in the right matchup.
Yeah, and Res 4 means you put some distinct effort into killing them from range as well.
Yeah, yeah, and
So
with hard target as well, they've got a bit of help there. They do have standard shoot as an
I
option.
was just I just noticed that. Yeah, really
Yeah,
cool. I mean, it's
so
quite a rare thing these days.
yeah,
But with that with Dark Fire, you want to be really careful charging into that. Really careful. I mean,
absolutely.
yeah.
So
So
I think Darkfire's 24 inches. So I mean, you got to get there up to them quick. They're pretty maneuverable. So yeah, these can be
18. But yeah.
80 can be very devastating with some magic options as well. So that's good.
Mm. Mm.
Hellhounds, and you'd be mistaken if you thought these guys were chaff because they certainly pack a punch with 3 attacks at lethal strike.
Yeah.
Granted, they are only strength 3 AP nor otherwise, but with that lethal strike, that can really be swingy in terms of combat.
Yeah, you're fishing for your sixes on the wounding rolls, aren't you, really? But the amount of attacks that they're going to get means that you've got a decent chance of getting a few through. And offensive 5, I mean, you might be hitting on 3s to begin with. So
Yeah. Look
yeah,
at having a quick look at the manifestations as well. I know that Hot Blood, I think, is the hatred one.
hatred. Yeah,
Incendiaria is flaming, Darkhold can move, and Digestive Vomit is the if you chaff them, then they'll get even better. So
oh, yeah, and +1 strength and AP on these guys is turning them from not very good wounders to they're going to cause you problems.
yeah. So I mean, very cheap, I think, in terms of demons. Very
Mm.
quick, as with most stuff, to be fair. But yeah, a bit of a dark horse in terms
I always
of
find that if they don't die in the early part of the battle, then they will get more and more of a problem as it
yeah,
goes on.
yeah,
Because you become weaker, and if they're still sitting there with the same ability they had at the start of the battle, then they're going to be a real issue.
absolutely. Next one, the Threshing Engine.
Yeah, where do you begin when you're talking about this?
I
I
know.
mean, so many options, or it looks like so many options, but I guess it's just if you choose one, if you choose Horde Thresher, it's this. If you choose Legion Thresher, it's this.
Yeah, but yeah,
So yeah,
the base is strength 4, AP3, impact hits, and at 2d3, it's 2 to 6, isn't it, rather than 1 to 6? So yeah, the
yeah,
guys on top have smother, so they're I guess little mini succubi type things, and yeah, in terms of the differences, the Horde Thresher is the big guy. Oh no, it's not. It's not even the biggest guy. The Horde
right.
Thresher is the smaller guy of the two.
The medium.
HB the medium, yeah. HB6, a few more tillers or guys. They lose smother 2 and gain smother. Lose smother 1, gain smother 2. Uh,
Yeah.
and even better impact hits, and then you go even further for the Legion Thresher. So they're all kind of the same. You just have a baby, a mummy, and a daddy.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I think they're cheeky sneaking in the AP on their impact hits again.
Yeah,
So yeah, be very careful. I mean, charge 10 is incredible too. So
yeah.
yeah.
Can be fly as well if you have it just a regular
Mm,
threshing engine.
yeah, yeah. I think they're really really powerful. I mean, I don't see many of these guys taken in units of 3. I don't know why. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong there, but
No,
yeah. I mean, we were talking about beast herds and taking your
yeah,
units of 2 raiding chariots and everything, but I just saw that they could be 3 models. I don't tend to
yeah.
see that. I
I,
wonder why.
I, I do think people probably upgrade them because Legion
Yeah.
Threshers are just insane.
Well,
But
true.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, you wouldn't take three Legion threshers. I mean, can you?
no,
No,
I
you
don't think you
can't.
can.
Single
No,
model.
yeah,
No, single model. But
yeah,
still, can you imagine 3 Legion threshers? Deal with it.
yeah, incredible. But yeah, your big charging chariot, not a flyer. The bigger
No.
ones, but obviously the smaller one can be. So has options to chaff it. But yeah, uh, yeah, the best example of a flying missile for a unit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
only res 4, no matter what size they are. So, you be aware of that.
yeah, absolutely. The Titan Slayer chariot. Now we have another different type of chariot. This is, I guess, the mountain breaker rule. That's really where it's things lie. Multiple was D3 towards the big Gribbly. So this guy
Yeah.
wants to go against your biggest
Mm.
of chaps.
Yeah. And I think with strength 7, he's ready to go. Yeah. So, I
Uh,
mean,
uh, yeah, yeah,
on the
absolutely.
impact hits, I mean, on the
Yeah,
impact hits. I mean, although, no, no, it is the impact hits that gain the multiple wounds. So yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, after you've done your impact hits, you're probably thinking, "Why is my opponent still alive?"
yeah.
But it's got Myrmidons as well, who shouldn't be written off by any means. Um, so yeah,
Yeah,
it,
on a quick glance,
got
can
your
give it a
impact.
bit of extra armor, some extra movement as well, and make it better and things like that. So yeah, decent options for it as well.
Hmm, yeah,
The Mage Blight Gremlins.
I still don't see these guys. Is this going to be our like wooden spoon entry? Because I
I
kind of
think
hinted
so.
towards it with the Briar Beast, didn't I? With the
Yeah,
beast herds, but I still haven't seen any gremlins in a demon army, like ever. Like, in years and years of playing this demon's book,
yeah,
I still haven't seen a single person take gremlins. Let me know in the comments if you have taken gremlins, whether it be successfully or otherwise.
yeah. So these
Um,
are your ambushing guys that if
hmm,
the opponent with Veil Stalker, if the opponent casts spells in its phase, you get additional instances of maximize. So
it's quite
basically,
niche, isn't it?
yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. If someone casts a spell and you've got some Mage Knight gremlins, it's going to be easier to bring them on next turn. Basically,
Hmm,
they've awakened the door. Distracted and hard target one. Res wise, strength wise, not that great, but they do have poison attacks with AP one. Um,
yeah,
and
6 attacks per model as well. So
yeah,
they don't get any kind of afflict, which is where you might usually. I mean, this is the swarm keyword, um, but they don't have any afflict, which you sometimes get in some swarm models these
yeah.
days.
Yeah,
But
the only other sort of quirk for them basically is if a Kalima's Deceiver is a general, then they get some extra uh,
manifestations, yeah,
manifestations. So you can have a few, and Hell Can Wait is one of them.
mm, yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
interesting.
arguably one of the weaker unit options.
Yeah, I'm struggling to see how they would beat the other options that demons have got.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Claude Fiends are up next, and they are with AP2 and Smother 3 and 4. That
yeah.
means that they are pretty brutal against some of the bigger stuff going, chariots and monstrous infantry alike.
Mm. yeah, I mean, these are the upgrades to the Succubi, aren't they? And yeah, I think in the state of the game at the moment, with infantry being so good, I think you're probably less likely to see Clawn Fiends as opposed to Succubi.
Yeah.
But a little unit of these can run around causing problems, especially if the target's right.
Yeah, and
So
they're quick, right, as well. Agility 6 base is mad.
everything's quick. Everything's quick.
Yeah,
But yeah. Oh, sorry, you mean agility wise? Yeah, I thought you meant charge wise. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, you're going first, and if you have got that right target, then you are slicing it up again. So
yeah.
yeah,
The
nice.
Hoarders, and they are the AP Naught, so they're the opposite in terms of that sort of thing, but they do have tightening grasp, and
Mm.
that gives you grind and an extra grind as the combat goes on. So they want to uh, quote unquote grind and
Yeah.
stay in things. They have parry as well, which is nice on a Res 5 model.
Yeah, I mean, arguably they didn't need it that much with defensive five, but it
Yeah,
means that they can go against something that actually would cause you an issue, and you can just hold it up for a long time.
yeah,
And as you do, you get progressively more tight on them.
yeah.
Um,
They're pretty
so
solid. Like as you say, defensive 5, parry, Res 5, 4 HP, and an Aegis 5 up. There's a lot of input going into actually taking out one of these guys.
yeah, yeah, there is, and there's all sorts of extra manifestations that can make it even more of a problem.
Yeah, and
So
similarly, if you have a Miser or a Suglug as your general, you could take two just to
yeah,
buff them
I
up
like
that
that. I
much
like
more.
that. I like that a little bit of take this and we'll give you a reward. I
Yeah,
quite
I
like that.
don't know how easy that is, and I'm saying this for both units that can do that. With the 600 point model cap, unit cap.
Hmm. Yeah,
So I
sure.
don't know whether actually that makes it because so let's say mirrored scales are 15 points a model. Like, can you get mirrored scales and smothering coils on a unit of 6? It's very
Sure.
unlikely, I think,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, maybe.
within the 600 points. So while that might be good, you might have to think about what manifestations can actually be in combo with it.
Yeah, I think you're right. You'd struggle to get the two more expensive manifestations in a unit of six. But then there's always fresh meat. Is that a thing to help with manifestations or
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I haven't
uh,
seen it as an option actually,
yeah.
so I don't know.
Maybe fresh meat
But
comes
yeah,
from a different book, but still. Yeah. Yeah. Generally I think you're right. Making
yeah.
expensive units is a bit tougher these days.
The Succubi Tempters. These are basically the mounted Succubi.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's everyone's worst nightmare, isn't it, really? They're kind of like the in between the Clawed Fiends and the Succubi. These guys are also really, really quick and really, really fast in combat.
Yeah, with
3 attacks
Vanguard as
each.
well. Yeah,
They fill in the gap of the Smother. So, we've seen Smother 1, we've seen Smother 3 and 4. Now we're getting Smother 2. Um, yeah, Vanguard is there. So you could call them chaff, but if you disrespect them, they're also going to be a real
yeah.
issue for you. I mean, light troops means that they're not quite as good in the flank. Um, well,
But
they
great
still are good because
support.
they've got,
Yeah,
yeah,
great support
support.
unit for sure.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, also it's an interesting one because Smother 2 suggests you want to go against cavalry, but with AP 0 or AP 1,
Yeah.
eh. So
I mean,
yeah,
if you can get them in the flank though, that hidden knives I think is extra AP in the flank. I think it is. And
okay,
Hammerhand is always more attacks, I believe.
yeah, it's not extra AP. Oh, it is AP. Yeah, strength and AP. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
So yeah, so
Mm.
potentially you could gear them up to be pretty good flankers.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and a unit of 10. Go
Yeah.
for it.
The Blazing Glory, and this is the Team England captain's favourite. And obviously you use these quite a lot. These are charge 8, so not your quickest, but they
No.
do potentially. I'm sure they have. Yeah, potentially a fly.
Mm. Yeah, and yeah, the 40-point upgrade for fly. Um, the agility is twice the model's current number of health points.
Yeah,
So, starts at agility 10. basically. Trumps all of the quick stuff in the Demon's book,
Yeah,
unless you've taken a few wounds. Um, but it's an interesting one because 5 attacks, strength 5, AP 5. What's AP 5? Yeah, it's it's cool if you can make sure that you haven't taken a few wounds on the way in.
yeah,
But then,
agreed.
even if you are attacking slower, res 5,
Yeah,
you
I
can
think.
still take a few attacks back.
I mean, hard target's always nice. 4 up against magical attacks, so it has some uh, defense as well. But yeah, it's one of those that I think if you use it well, can be really a real dark horse in your army list.
Yeah, yeah.
The Hope Harvester, and yeah, a plethora of options for shooting. It seems, and this helps along with that as well. So the was it called Ether battery? Ether battery.
Yeah.
Uh, and the Ether battery is a 3d6 strength 4 AP1 uh, uh, shooting thing, artillery.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. It's their answer to the organ gun.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
But
Um,
and if it didn't move, then it maximizes its shots. So, roll well on that, and yeah, you're doing a decent Gatling gun impersonation, really, aren't you?
absolutely.
It's only 18 inches, so you have got to get it into the right place. I mean,
Yep.
aim 3 up is nice. So there's that.
I'd imagine all seeing eye is one of the main ones taken as well. Uh,
Yes.
on this to make it accurate, so you can be 18 inches without penalty really.
Mm, yeah.
But
And if
yeah,
you go for the Engine of Damnation, it can't be. It loses Attached and War Platform, but it does gain Stomp and Solitary and Terror. So you could make it into a bit of a Wandering Gribbly as well.
yeah,
Um, yeah. Mm.
yeah, yeah. It helps for the all shooting demon list.
It does. It does.
And those elusive guys that I couldn't remember what they're called, the Brazen Beasts, up next. They do have option for curved tusk, so remember that if you go against them. But otherwise, on the charge, these guys decimate guys. I have been
Yeah.
I've been privy to that on multiple occasions.
Yeah. You think you get them down to one model and they're no powerful, but even one model can ruin your day.
Yeah.
And four HP in these guys means they're not going to shift as easily as you might like as well. When every model is potentially doing damage to you on its own.
Oh,
Yeah.
so much on the charge. Everything's strength 5. The Myrmidons being strength. Yeah, everything's strength 5 AP2. So they got 2
Charge,
impact each stomp attack. All the increased things that do not go on the stat line, guys. Do not go on the stat
no,
line. That is not what you'll be fighting.
no. I mean, if you are, then you've done well.
Yeah.
So yeah, and also what I was going to say, one of the units that's retained stomp attacks. Very nice for
Yes.
them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, that would be at strength 4, but still.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially
yeah.
look out for these guys if they have a scourge as general, because they get some extra manifestations as well.
Mm. Again, another candidate for, well, actually impossible to fit in one of the expensive manifestations in 600 points. Oh, actually, it's maximum 5 models. So yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they're not cheap. They're not cheap,
No, they're
these
not.
guys.
They're not. But they are
I mean,
good.
you get
So
monsters who are less than 360 points, as we
yeah,
saw.
you do.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
They're worth their money though, guys, and
Mm.
worth respecting from an opponent's point of view.
You're right. Yep.
Next up, we go to Aves, and this is, I guess, the category for flying stuff.
Yeah.
We've not mentioned it really before that.
No, I mean, these would be your standard chaff, but like we mentioned with the beast herds, they've got a few little quirks in there now. Devastating charge, strength 5 on the charge. That's quite nice.
Yeah,
Um, you know,
can have
uh,
like poison attacks with venom attacks and things like this, and curved tusks
mm,
even could help them as a bit of a throwaway unit as well. So yeah, um, chaff and really good mobility to be able to chaff, but also can be good support units as well. in the
Yeah,
Furies.
I think they're probably a go-to choice. I think probably. I mean, I say that I'm not a demon player, but I would almost always have one unit of Furies at the very
Yeah.
least. So.
Next one being Veil Serpents, and this was one that was very popular towards the back
Mm,
of 2.0, I guess, and so has it maintained its popularity in the Veil Serpents. So they are a bit magical, in that they can
mm.
get some spells off, and but also you can choose versatile because you can choose one manifestation for free.
At the start of the battle as well,
Yeah,
which so yeah, they can do what you need them to do. I think they were very popular. I think they're still quite popular, but with the change in witchcraft, which is always, I mean, I think I can't remember what was it, deceptive glamour that used to be the old witchcraft spell that reduced agility.
yeah,
That used to make them very popular. I might have had the wrong spell there. But witchcraft is still very good, but I think their role has just changed slightly on the Veil
sure.
Serpents. There's still agility shenanigans to be had in the demon, but
And they
yeah,
do get you an extra channel being uh,
indeed.
Conclave 2 if you choose that option. So yeah, decent. Attacks wise, strength 4, AP 0, 3 attacks each. They're not the best, but they're not
Support
terrible
unit.
either. Yeah,
Yeah. The only thing is, of course, light troops because of that. In addition to that fly, so they're not going to flank charge something and cause a lot of extra disruption. But
yeah.
you'd rather have them than not. So
And on to bloatflies. This is something we've seen quite a lot in the UK.
yeah.
But bloatflies being 2 attacks at strength 6 AP3. So not the
Mm.
most attacks, but they are quite high quality. Um, Offensive 5 as well helps a lot with that. They have acid blood. So for every wound they take, you take a toxic attack back. Um,
Yeah, and
but
that's where their attacks profile is boosted, isn't it? So
yeah, yeah, yeah. They have Aegis, one of the first ones to have Aegis and regeneration. I think the more might as well. Might have missed that
mm.
when we would do it through it. But yeah, something that can use either, if you've got divine attacks, it can use its regen to keep the 5 up, which is interesting.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I came across it in a recent battle where the trolls and the troll,
Oh,
if
yeah, yeah.
I fail a regen save, I get to make an attack back. But if you don't get a regen save, then you don't get to do it.
No,
So
yeah.
the fact that you can trade your regen save for Aegis um, is really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. I think you can only use one, so there's no stacking or anything.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
you have to stick with it for the entire combat. But
Yeah.
yeah, a good unit, and yeah, and with flying ability as well, a decent charge, range, and threat.
Very much so. Yeah, these guys can really be where they need them to be, which is kind
Yeah,
of a good summary of all of the demon units, really. Um, I think they're an army that definitely needs practice. I don't think you can pick them up and just expect them to do well,
yeah.
because you can get outmaneuvered if you're not outmaneuvering the opponent. Um,
And as
yeah,
we've
so
already sort of alluded at, as we end our coverage there, they're one where they're going to have so many hidden synergies that and
mm,
different combinations of. There might be better and worse, but there are going to be lots of different combinations of those manifestations lurking around, and one that
yeah,
definitely you should do your homework
very
if you're
much
up
so.
against them.
Yeah, I think so. Really flavorful, the whole book. I
Yeah,
think it's in it. I mean, you said at the start that they're not as powerful a place as they were. I don't know if I agree with that.
I think
Yeah,
yeah
I mean,
some of the general's abilities to change to different units and
sure.
things has been changed throughout the months. But yeah,
Okay.
oh, they're not bad by any means. The 5 pages as standard, I think, is very very good.
And Swiss Stride
As Swift
everywhere.
tried, yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah. No, really
definitely a
enjoyed it.
fun army, yeah, and definitely an interesting one in terms of that.
Mm,
But yeah, a good summary. Definitely take another look over at those manifestations and get used to those names, because that'll be what helps you in your battles against them. Oh, yeah, yeah, we're silent. Otherwise, we will
yeah.
leave it there.
Yes. Run out of things to
And
say.
yeah, literally, we're literally speechless at the end of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you've stuck with us up till now, well done. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Put in the comments all the best manifestations for each Gribbly of
Yeah.
the characters and each units as well, and maybe some of the combos. Give us some commentary in the comments, and because we love reading them.
And tell us
But
all about your gremlin victories.
yes, yeah. But do otherwise have a lovely day. Stay safe, and as always, we will see you later.